Hi there! In this power-up, I'll be going through how to use offline storage in Composer Pro. When developing your app, you might want to save some information locally on the user's device. One good example of this are app settings. Let's create a setting that lets the user save their preference of text size in the app. On the Data tab, let's create a new client-side resource called Settings and give it a true-false property called Large Text. Next, we need to create an instance of our settings resource to actually hold the settings. To do that, we'll use create record on the global canvas. I'll create a settings record with the ID my settings, but the ID can actually be anything you'd like. Just make sure you're using the same ID every time you try to access or edit the record. Now comes the important part. When the app is launched, we'll first attempt to get a settings record with our chosen ID with getRecord. If it's the first time when the user opens the app, this record will not yet exist and getRecord will fail. That's why we'll run our createRecord node only after the second output of getRecord is triggered. Next, let's create a corresponding app variable that we use to access this setting in the app. On the global canvas, let's pass the value of large text to our app variable. Now when the app starts up, the app variable will take its value from the settings record. To let users change the setting from the UI, we'll also need to update our settings record when the app variable changes. Let's add a receive event node on the global canvas and choose app variable large text changed for the event. When this event gets fired, we'll update the settings record to match the value of large text. Let's test out our setting. On this page, we have a toggle whose value is bound to the large text app variable, and a paragraph whose font size is 20 or 16, depending on whether large text is turned on. We can now see that when switching the toggle, the font changes size. When the app starts up again, the user's choice of font size will be remembered because it is stored in the settings record that gets fetched on app startup. You can use a similar logic on the global canvas to implement any app settings or other kinds of offline information that needs to be saved, or even make a local copy of data coming in from an API. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this power-up and see you in the next one.